And congratulations, a win in a Merseyside derby, but one full of incidents and talking points. How do you sum it up?
Good, well deserved. I really think it's a difficult game. It's a different game. It's a lot of emotions involved. Red card, maybe second yellow for us, penalty. I saw now your guys discussed it. I honestly, that's an example how a penalty looks. To be honest, the arm should not be in. That's how it is. So we should have in the first half. We had 3 big opportunities which didn't even end up as shot on target, which is not cool. But we should be, with a better last pass, we have to score there 1, 2, or 3, and that didn't happen, and that's not helpful. Red card for Everton, and that obviously changed the game. We didn't use it immediately to our advantage. Half time, first and foremost, I told the boys we ignore the fact that we are 1 man up, because it always leads to frustration. If you don't get through, you can feel that in the crowd as well. It's completely normal. If I would sit there, it would be the same. Everybody thinks now each opportunity has to be a chance, each possession phase has to be a chance, and that will not happen. But we kept them away from the goal, from our goal. That's very important, because the more set pieces they have, the more likely it is that they will score. Penalty. I'm not sure if anybody wants to discuss it, but I think it is a penalty. Yes, and we are lucky. Probably didn't see it back yet, but probably we're lucky with Ibu that he didn't get the second yellow there. And then finally we used one counter-attack. So even when it was late, but it was for me a perfect moment. So we won the game. Difficult game, always difficult. I'm really happy.
You say you feel fortunate that Konate wasn't shown a second yellow card. Can you understand then the frustration from Everton that there seems to be a lack of consistency even within one game of those challenges not being charged?
Of course I understand it. What I heard when we were on the other side, we have to accept that. So it's really hard to do that in the first moment, but with time you get over it, I can tell you.
How much of a risk did you feel you had to take in the second half, as you say, because even though you had the man advantage on the pitch, you had to change things up and really go for it?
Yeah, I'm not sure we took risk, but we had to. We wanted then. We brought another offensive player. I think that made a lot of sense. And how can you do that without taking one off? You have to change a little bit. So we put Lucio on the left back position. They didn't have a winger there really, so we thought that's possible. So let him attack there, and that's actually. He was the player who crossed the ball for the penalty, so that obviously was not the worst idea we ever had. That's the risk you have to take, but it's just difficult. It's not about taking a risk. It's difficult. Everton is usually not a team who has that deep a block. So I would have loved to play the game 11-11, to be honest, or 10v10 or whatever, because then it's just a different game. But now with 10, and it's really deep, and that's difficult. So first half we had much more finishes, like at least as I remember, than in the first phase of the second half. Does it make sense? No, but you have to get used to it, and that's how it is. On your good day, everybody. If we are flying, we will win football games. But when we are not flying, we still have to win. And that's what we did, and I liked the really a lot of parts of the performance. And as a group, we have to still to grow together and to get more stable. And I saw a lot of moments where we showed that.
Well, it is a win that for now takes you top of the Premier League table in the Merseyside derby. To get those 3 points, certainly a good start for the Reds of Liverpool this weekend.
Yes, of course. But we have to go there as well, and I thought Everton played a good game, so that's what they can build on as well. And so maybe it's not a bad day for the whole Merseyside. Let me say it like that.
Thanks, Jürgen.
Welcome.
Dominic, what does that feel like? Your first taste of the Merseyside derby and on the winning side here at Anfield.
It feels really good. As I said before, playing in Anfield is something special, and playing against Everton is a derby, so I didn't expect that, but feels nice.
What didn't you expect?
Well, I expect it's gonna be good, but not that loud, you know. I played in a lot of stadiums, but this is one of the best.
How tough a job did you have in that midfield today? Because despite the fact that they went down to 10 men, you had to work really hard out there to get the 3 points.
Now we were in a good side of 10 men because in the season we got sometimes 10, even 9 men. I know how it feels to play with 10 men, so I know how they felt actually. But yeah, you have to be focused until the end, and we just take the 3 points and focus on the next game.
The game-changing moment was when Mo Salah stepped up to take that penalty. Never in doubt?
Me, never. So I trust him, he trusts himself. This is the most important. He scored, finish.
And for you, since coming here to Liverpool, how easy have you found it to fit in with this group of players? How much are you enjoying it? I can see from the smile on your face you are.
It's never easy, but yeah, as I said, the guys helped me a lot, the manager helped me a lot. Really happy to play in front of those fans. And yeah, I'm just doing my job, and this is the most important.
Who were the players in the dressing room that told you what to expect in this derby? What were they saying to you before the game?
Probably I'm most with Trent, and I asked him like how it's gonna be, but everybody in the staff said it's gonna be really good. So I just came out and take the 3 points.
Well, this win takes Liverpool to the top of the table for now. Good start to the weekend, hey?
Yeah, it's the best.
Congratulations, well done. Enjoy the celebration.
Thank you, thank you.
Game for Liverpool at times, some contentious decisions as well in that one, but they do have the victory. In Rio, was it deserved overall? Were they the better team?
I thought they were the better team, but I still think they've been lucky today in terms of decisions. I think we're going to touch on it in a little while with Konate. He escaped getting a second yellow card today, and I thought we was very, very fortunate in that sense. I don't think Liverpool played particularly well today. I wouldn't say Jordan Pickford had loads of saves to make, and there was loads of shots raining down on his goal. Everton defended well, I thought, and made some huge blocks at times. But this wasn't like a performance from Liverpool that you go, wow, this looks like a team that are firing all cylinders. But what I would say is in these games, there's very, very few games that you look at in derbies where you go, that team performed perfectly well and they were at their best. They got the 3 points and Liverpool will be delighted with that.
Plenty of signs still in there for Everton, despite them going down to 10 men, Phil, that they're heading in the right direction?
Yeah, it was always going to be a tough game coming here. I think up to obviously sending off, I think both teams would have been reasonably happy with the way they came for the game. But, you know, as soon as the sending off happened, it was always going to change. Everton pretty much put a stall out for the second half. They brought on 2 defenders, took off 2 sort of wide men, and we're looking to see it out. And, you know, you hope for a little bit of luck, a little bit of good fortune, and it definitely didn't go their way today. You know, obviously we will talk about the bookings and even the penalty. I know the way the world is and the way it is now. You've got to put your hands behind your back in the box to make sure there's no contact. And unfortunately, as soon as he went over to the monitor, we knew it was going to be a penalty.
At that incident, the referee was advised to have an on-field review for this handball. Went over to the monitor, awarded the penalty. Peter, was it a clear penalty to you?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a penalty in this day and age. You know, I don't like to see it. I think Ali said it in commentary. You know, if it's a deliberate handball, there's no way it's deliberate. But his hand is out of the natural position. It's out of the silhouette, and once his arm's out and it hits it, he's running the risk of a penalty, and unfortunately, this day and age, it is a pen.
I feel this was the only way that Liverpool were going to score today. I don't think they were peppering the Everton goal today, and it was going to take a situation like that that was going to break the deadlock.
I guess the argument is players now, they all know that arm's away from the body, it's not in a natural position, that's going to be awarded. But you think it's impossible, Phil?
It's an evolution, isn't it? We had the point where if it touched anywhere on your arm, it was a penalty a couple of years ago, and they're trying to make it as easy as possible to understand. But the fact of the matter is, your arms are part of your body, and when you're moving and when you're going from side to side, they won't be stood right next to you. With Keano here, unfortunately, it's probably half a yard too far out, so it was easy to give. But if you do it in real time, it was slapped in. But as Crouch said, that's the rules.
Well, my big thing with this, and we were talking off air as defenders, when you go in to engage a player, especially in those wide areas there, for you to go out there and keep your hands here, right inside the silhouette of your body, it takes the advantage straight to the attacking player, because your balance, your ability to then manoeuvre without your arms being out to support you, makes it very difficult for a defender.
I think it's something you have to do now, is put your hands behind your back. We used to laugh at that, but I think you genuinely have to do that now.
Yeah.
And Mo Salah, Peter, made absolutely no mistake from the spot. We can see, though, Virgil van Dijk is joining us. Yeah, congratulations, Virgil. Good to see you.
Come in.
That's well done, mate.
Come in, Virgil.
We were just talking about Mo Salah there, making no mistake from the penalty spot. Again, the main man for you, stepping up so many times. Just, he continues to deliver.
Yeah, great players do. And Obviously, I think this season, or towards the end of last season, he missed a couple, but to still step up and deliver like he does is something we need. And that's something also that's part of a big football club. And that's what we are, and hopefully we can build on this as well. So, yeah.
7 Merseyside derbies, goals for him now. Only Steven Gerrard has more. Is it the consistency that he gives you that makes him a world-class player?
Yeah, because consistency is the most difficult thing in football. To do it each and every game. Obviously, I think Mikolenko did very well against him. But you see, big players step up when we need them, and I'm very pleased for him and very pleased for all of the football club.
Your team are now top of the league after 9 games you've played. How do you see this team evolving now? Obviously, there's been a big changeover of player midfield area. How are you comparing this team at the moment from what you're seeing in its early stages compared to the teams that have been successful in the past you've played in?
Yeah, obviously, I think there has been a transition, of course, but also in the way we play. You know, we have different players with different qualities and try to adapt a little bit in football, and I think it's working quite well. What also helps is that we're having not much injuries, so everyone is pushing each other, and we have depth coming from the bench. Obviously, a couple injuries now, but before that, you know, that was also key. And in the end of the day, it's finding consistency, and I think everyone is playing on quite a high level. And that's the key to success, hopefully, this season. And let's do it in every competition we in as well.
The manager said this group has given him a new energy. Can you sense a difference in him this season?
100%, yeah. I think everyone last year, especially towards the end of the season, was drained, if I'm absolutely honest. You know, it was such a disappointed season. And that was obviously because we didn't find the consistency. We played one good game. I don't want to mention it again, but we played United and we won big here at home, and the next game we lost Bournemouth away, and that was so frustrated because everyone wants to really, you know, perform on the highest level and win every game, and to have that, it was very difficult. And we had a short break in the summer, and then we came back, and pre-season was very good. We started obviously in Germany, so we started first with a proper training camp, and then we went on a commercial tour, and it worked pretty well, and I'm glad that it worked like it did, and you definitely sense a different vibe and different energy in the club.
Can I just ask you about the midfield? Obviously, a totally new midfield this season for you. You had players like Henderson, Fabinho just in front of you. It was always very secure, slightly different now. How are you finding playing behind them?
Yeah, it's a bit different. You know, it was a fantastic time with the others. You know, we've won everything together, and everyone, you know, went their own way. And the guys who have been coming in, obviously, have been outstanding in my opinion. Obviously, McAllister, you know, have been playing maybe on a position that I don't know if he really wants to play there, but you know, he has the quality to play anywhere in the midfield, and with the ball especially, he's outstanding. You know, and the yards he's doing each and every game is great. And like I said, Szoboszlai, you know, he's a different breed. You know, his energy, he keeps running, he wants the ball at all times, he counter press, and that's what we want. And I mentioned to you before, like Curtis Jones, obviously unfortunately is suspended, but he's doing very well too. Ryan starting his first Merseyside derby, it's something to be excited about as a Liverpool fan, and long may it continue. But I think the key is finding consistency, and so far so good.
But it does send you top, that win. Do you feel, given the setbacks you've had this season, the sendings off, you've had to come from behind in games, do you feel like you're over-exceeding your expectations?
No. Like, obviously, the top of the table doesn't mean anything at this point. I think in a couple hours we probably not be top of the league, or tomorrow. So it is only game by game by game, and that's how we approach everything. And try to stay fit and enjoy the moment as well. You know, we play for one of the biggest clubs in the world, and we are very privileged. So let's show that, and let's be proud and enjoy the time together.
I'm sure you'll sleep well tonight after winning the Merseyside derby. Virgil, thanks.
Always sleep well.
Thanks for coming out to talk to us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Virgil van Dijk there, off to celebrate a Liverpool victory in the Merseyside derby. We're going to have plenty more reaction coming up here from Anfield in extra time. We will also be hearing from both managers as well, but it is a very busy day. Starting with the Ashley Young sending off just before half-time. He was given a yellow in the 18th minute. Did you feel that first one was a bit harsh?
It's a sign of the times, I think. You know, back in the day, we always refer to it that way. Maybe you'll get a free one, maybe you'll get let off, but The referee decided it wasn't to be. So as soon as that's taken place as a defender, that you can't go to ground. So there's not much, and he's not really going anywhere. But it is a yellow card if you want to do it black and white. And then here you've got to know that basically you are running the biggest risk ever if you do not get the ball.
I think where that is on the pitch right in front of the Everton fans, I think that's why he dives in. I generally think it's a bit of a blood rush. It's a definite yellow card. He's got to stay on his feet, especially on a yellow card.
In today's game, if we talk about our era and our generation, you probably might not even get a yellow card for both of them. But in today's game, I think the way it is now, it's very, very much not a non-contact sport, but it's getting that way in certain situations. But they're yellow cards in today's game.
The problem is the consistency, innit? If you give that and you don't give the Konate one, that's where the problems arise.
Yeah, absolutely. Konate was on a yellow card in that match. Did you feel he was a very lucky man not to be sent off, Rio?
Yeah, I was squealing when it happened when I was up in the gantry watching this, because I thought, oh no, he's going to go. But I cannot believe that the referee didn't book him.
Just after that one, actually, yeah. Jags, you said, didn't you? You said to take him off. You've got to take him off.
Well, I think it shows us what Jurgen Klopp does. He's, I heard Rio say he's clever. He's not clever. He's just, he is. But he's obviously realised that basically they've somehow got away with one. As soon as you give a free kick there, the way he's refereed the game, he has to produce another yellow card. I still think it's a little bit harsh, a little bit cheap, and we'd still be having that same conversation. But as soon as he's decided that's the manner he's going to referee the game in, it was a local derby. He could have let a lot go, but I don't think refs are given that opportunity to sort of manage the game because it is a derby. It's basically a normal game of football. Foul's a foul, yellow card's a yellow card. And that definitely should have been a second one. And
Sean Dyche was given a booking after that for his reaction. Do you sympathise with managers in that situation where we're not seeing that consistency in the decisions and then they're punished for their reaction to it?
I completely understand why he'd be frustrated and why he'd be shouting and voice his opinion on that situation, because the game is being managed by the referee in a certain way. You want that consistency to transfer and carry through. And for me, in that situation, no, it hasn't. So I'm definitely on the side of the Everton team here in terms of I think that the game kind of changed on that moment.
Well, let's hear from the Everton boss now, because Sean Dyche has been speaking to Jules.
Sean, it's hard to know where to start with that one. Lots of incidents, lots of talking points. What's your take on it all?
My take is it's the bizarre nature of the modern game. How they at 0-0 have 11 on the pitch is I don't think anyone in the stadium knows why. Their manager certainly didn't, because he took the player off straight away because he realised he thought he should be off the pitch anyway. So changed the game quite obviously. That's the way it goes.
Let's deal with each incident individually then, starting off with Ashley Young's sending off. Was it correct to send him off, do you think?
Well, the problem is, how do you judge now? Because their player does a ridiculous foul that he should get yellow carded for. Probably worse than Ashley Young's in the first. The first one, second one's got to be a yellow card, but the first one is... Oh, no, there's no point. I'd get myself in trouble for things. I don't know how I get in trouble. I don't know how I got yellow carded, in fact. Like staff all got yellow carded. How it's impossible we could get yellow carded today with that performance. But anyway, we did.
And then looking at Konate's, as you say, a second challenge that you feel he should have been booked for?
I don't think there's any feel from me. I think the whole stadium were like, what's going on there? Like I say, that manager, he's a fine judge, quite obviously, because he's looked at it and thought, right, I better get him off. That was the proof in itself. Anyways, look, beyond that, I've got a group of players who've given everything. It's very difficult to win in any game, particularly in this game. And I thought we did well. We did well second half to quell the game, calm it down. That's what we wanted to do, take the energy out of it, take the sting out of it. Everything was going fine. A loose arm, we know what happens nowadays. I think they're tough ones, the ball's at close quarters. But anyway, we know what happens. The rest of it, it gets away from us. Last minute goal, we're chasing the game. But massive decisions today from the officials. And I think it's a head scratcher.
Is that probably what makes it more frustrating for you as a manager and your group of players in the dressing room now, that the game was lost in a moment where obviously they score from the penalty spot and you'd been holding on quite well until that point?
Yeah, we'd kept it down to minimal chances of any real quality during the game in general, actually. And like I say, the second half game plan, when you're down to 10 men, it was working. The feel of it was working. We quelled the game. Obviously, we're looking for set pieces, looking for breakaway moments, and it was working fine. And then, that big decision changes the feel for them, because I think I'll be amazed if they didn't realise they got away with one. And then they get a penalty, and then it's very difficult. But like I say, proud of the players' efforts, that's for sure. We're still a work in progress, I know that, but it's very difficult with 10 rather than 11.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sean Dyche, proud of the way his players played. You could still feel that frustration there. But should he be proud, Phil, of the way they've been relatively quiet until that penalty went in and then it erupted?
Everything was going to plan. Obviously bar the sending off, but even up to that point, changed the formation. The place was quite quiet, but unfortunately, one thing happens, another thing happens, and before you know it, you're 1-0 down. Obviously, the second goal, they're chasing the game, so he won't look too into that. But he's done really well not to blow a lid in the interview, to be honest, because that could have cost him some money. But now he'll look at his team and he'll be proud. But next week's going to be just as important. Now they need to go bounce back from this disappointment and try and get some points on the board.
Yeah, they've got West Ham, Brighton and Palace next. We spoke a lot before the game about their underlying numbers being really good, but they are going to need the results to start to follow. Yeah,
completely. And I agree with Phil there about in terms of, the manager could touch on the performance up until the goals go in. And they did defend really, really well. But they've got to find that good balance within this team to be good defensively and solid, but also to be creating chances and dispatching and really punishing teams when their chances come. Dominic Calvert-Lewin had a good chance early part of the game. He scores that, the whole dynamics of the game changes. So there's little moments in games for them today that they could have done better, but also that went against them.
From what you've seen already this season, can you see them avoiding a relegation battle this season, Peter?
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. I think getting the players back that they've got back has changed the dynamic. I think today, Liverpool against some teams this season, they're going to dismantle teams. They're going to come here, going to get 4 or 5. They've got the ability to do that. Today it wasn't like that at all. They had to rely on a penalty decision, on a sending off. They weren't at their best, and I think Everton deserve a little bit of credit for that. I think they kept the fans quiet. They made it difficult for them in the first half, and up to the sending off and the penalty, they were in the game.
And there's still all the uncertainty off the pitch, Phil, with the takeover. A hearing started this week into a breach of profit and sustainability rules. We don't know what the punishment will be for that, what the verdict will be at the end of it. Do you feel that they've got the right man in charge, though, to navigate all of this with all the uncertainty off the pitch?
I think so. I think he's comfortable, knowing what he does, knowing what he brings, and knowing what his team's going to be. So he's happy enough. As we said, you'd want better results. Results, end of the day, calm everyone down on the pitch. There's nothing they can do off the pitch. It's been going on for a long, long time now, and hopefully that gets sorted out sooner rather than later. But as we said, he'll be quite happy in some respects for today, but obviously they've still come away with nothing, and the next few weeks were super important.
Mo Salah has given Liverpool bragging rights in the Merseyside derby. 2-0 the final score. They beat Everton at Anfield. We're going to go back to Anfield now because we are getting post-match reactions, and the first of those comes from Ian Irving interviewing Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk.
Congratulations. What was the most important quality your team showed today?
In all aspects, I think we were good, and obviously we had to be patient. Good with and without the ball, especially. Obviously they are very direct, going channels, set pieces, a lot of long balls, and you have to be ready for a fight, and I think we did well.
In terms of the second half, especially after Everton went down to 10 men, how difficult is it to play in those circumstances and wait for those moments?
Well, it is obviously a bit difficult, but I think the most important thing is the defensive organisation, because obviously you have the ball a lot, and when they win it, they try to break on you, and I think we did outstanding. So that was good.
When you needed him, Mohamed Salah stepped up as well. He's always someone you can rely upon, no matter what. He was quiet in that game, but he's gone away with 2 goals and the match winner.
It's the quality we need, and obviously I think everyone played a very good game, and obviously we need goal scorers, and he's definitely one of them. So I'll be very happy with him.
Sends you to the top of the Premier League table for now as well. How much of a boost does that give everyone, even at this early stage?
Well, could change in a couple of hours, so it doesn't really matter. But what matters is that we won today. Quite comfortable in my opinion, and that's something to build on.
Thank you, Virgil.
Thank you.
The quality we need, says Virgil van Dijk when talking about Mo Salah. He is now the first player for Liverpool to score in the opening 4 matches of a Premier League season at Anfield in the Premier League era. That is some record. He got 2 goals today, one of them from the penalty spot. We're going to look at the incident, but I mentioned before that you were a little bit frustrated with some of the calls today. Can you tell us why?
It's just consistency, really. I mean, I actually can't argue with this one. I think in the modern day, I think if your arm's away from your body, as much as I could argue about natural positions of your body, and your arms during a game, his arms away from his body, that's always going to be given. Interesting that Craig Pawson didn't actually give that on the field. He had to get VAR to intervene. But I can't really argue about that one, Mo.
No, I agree, and you can't argue with the other Mo. Salah in front. Yeah. I mean, we both thought he might go hard and straight down the middle, but he actually pulled it into the corner at the Kop end. It was a very assured penalty, and as you say, I think it was a penalty. The arm was out, it blocked the cross. It wasn't Michael Keane's finest man. We don't want defenders running out with arms behind their back, but I do think you can have it in a more natural position than leave it hanging like he did.
Just to note that Diaz wasn't on the score sheet today, but he was involved in some of the biggest moments of this game, including for that penalty.
It was the only thing he didn't do, was it? Get on the score sheet, because he had a hand in, obviously, both of Ashley Young's yellow cards, the penalty. He was direct. Considering he's just come back from South America as well, on Thursday with that long-haul flight, he was very active today and was a difference maker.
Yeah, so too was Nunez setting up Salah for the second one. Let's look at the finish on this. Let's look at another Liverpool counter-attack, which in the first half provided some of their best moments.
Yeah, if you'd have said to me before the game that Liverpool's best moments at Anfield in a Merseyside derby would come on the counter-attack, I probably wouldn't have believed you. But at this point of the game, I think it was the 97th minute there, Everton going in search of a last-minute equaliser with 10 men. You're going to leave yourself exposed. Nunez deciding to pass rather than go himself, and how many times have we seen Mo Salah finish from those positions? He's clinical in those moments, and you know what? I don't think it was as comfortable as it seemed. A 2-0 victory for Liverpool today suddenly seems quite comfortable.
They made that look really easy, though, didn't they? That, you know, just to put the icing on the cake. But the timing of the pass, the angle, the weight of the pass, the finish, everybody in that team made it look very simple. Because it's not, you know, when you're running at full speed on a counter-attack, it's quite difficult to get all those pieces of timing right, but Liverpool did it really well to wrap up the game.
I think also when you're looking at the scoreline, if you've not seen the game, it looks very comfortable for Liverpool. It wasn't really a classic derby, a classic victory for them today?
It wasn't, but I was enjoying the first half, and I do think that the red card, all of a sudden you think, oh, the game's going to change now. Everton, from having that front foot style, which we were quite enjoying, and Liverpool were having to counter-attack a little bit. We were seeing a little bit of a tactical battle, and then all of a sudden, red card, you think, right, the game's going to change. The game's going to probably form into what we thought before, Liverpool with the possession. And Liverpool eventually tied Everton down and got the 2 goals. So it wasn't the most enthralling derby, but while it was 11v11, it was quite an interesting game.
Tough day, you know, it's always going to be tough to come to Anfield.
Your bench were unhappy with a couple of things during the game as well. What is it exactly that the Everton squad are feeling aggrieved about?
It's not rocket science to work it out. I think the whole world will know. We can't comment too much because you just get done anyway off them. So yeah, a bit of dialogue would be nice. A bit less arrogance would be nice as well, you know. But no, I think as a whole, as a team, we're not far off. Like I say, coming here is always a tough place to come. But we had a right good go, and we're always in the game, even with 10 men till the 90th minute. But that's football.
You just needed a chance at some point in that second half, didn't you? It just seems to be so difficult to try and create that moment.
Yeah, going down to 10 men and lads putting the shift in, you're going to get tired, put changes on. The manager made changes and re-energised, the lads coming on, put a shift in as well. So when you go down to 10 men, away from home is always going to be tough. It's about your attitude and your commitment and togetherness as a squad, and that'll put you in the right direction. Sometimes you get results from it, but today wasn't our day.
Where in the football world. My name is Derek Ray. With me in the commentary position is the Arsenal legend Lee Dixon. And very much looking forward to bringing you action from the Premier League. It is Liverpool facing Everton.
Thanks, Derek. Yeah, really looking forward to both teams producing entertaining football. Let's see if we get that.
So the starting lineup for Liverpool. Alisson gets the nod in goal. Andrew Robertson starts with Trent Alexander-Arnold in the fullback positions. Mohamed Salah plays with Sadio Mane out wide. Salah! And there it is! The opening goal in the derby for Liverpool. And just listen to the fans. That tells you the story.
Well, here's the replay, and what a ball that is to put him through. And he composes himself, coolly slides it past a lonely keeper, who will be asking questions about where his back four went to.
The opening goal of the game then.
Goal for Liverpool. Number 11, Mohamed Salah.
Calvert-Lewin. It's with Doucouré. And moving the ball nicely. And just like that, they've lost possession. Roberto Firmino. Firmino. Alexander-Arnold. Here's Thiago. It looked as though they had attacking momentum, but not so. Doucouré. An alert intervention. Sigurdsson. Richarlison. Interception to snuff out the danger. And a throw-in it's going to be. James Rodriguez. Defensive Brazilians to shut them down. Liverpool in a position of menace. Will he find the net? Well, showing excellent judgment to intercept. Over the touch.